Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Manchester United Chelsea Tottenham Hotspur show. The season's just ended, but a lot going on, of course. Enzo Maresca, new Chelsea boss, as he signs 5-year deal. So he is the new head coach at Chelsea. Timo Werner on loan to Spurs for another season. So his deal has now been extended. So we'll be discussing that as with Manchester United. Unfortunately, Ten Hag is still here. Ineos, you're on the clock, but we'll see what's going on. But please keep all your comments or your questions, Manchester United, Chelsea, or Tottenham Hotspur related. Make sure you run up the likes as well, though, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back after. Yo, it's a pain having long hair, man. Plaque just be in my eye, I'm not gonna lie. But where was I at, people? What was I saying? Yes, please make sure you run up the likes, whether you're watching live right now or watching this back, hit that like button. Make sure you share across all the socials at That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV on Twitter and on Instagram. So please retweet a like from the Twitter, share from the Instagram, and subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. It is rolled to 12K on the channel. Shout out to everyone listening on the audio platforms as well. Warrior J has wrote a lot in the comments, which I will star. Tottenham will still look into new signings up front for Ange Postecoglou after Timo Werner deal. Spurs are considering wingers and strikers in case of good opportunities, with several players still expected to leave. Brian Gill could be sold this summer. Officially exclusive story confirmed. This is what I mentioned at the start. Timo Werner will stay at Tottenham next season, a new season-long loan from Leipzig. Spurs will cover Werner's salary as they will also have a 15 to 60 million euro buy option clause to sign Timo Werner in June 2025. That's from at Fabrizio Romano. Big up to Sheik in the chat. AJB Gaming for Life as well. We got Jez in the building too. Yes, Jez, what are you telling me, fam? You good?
All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check. All right, man, I'm here. Big up, everyone. Big up, Flawless.
Guy, yo, big up, man, every time, man. Make sure you lot go follow Jez on Twitch as well, on doing his great football manager streams. I don't get to lock in as much as I would like because I'm streaming, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie, thoroughly enjoyable.
All right. The real ones saw me live getting the result against Real Madrid. Again, we are the owners of Real Madrid, man.
Giant killers, yeah, giant killers,
giant killers, man. I think we lost to, I don't know if it was in the stream. We lost to Chelsea 2-0, but it was by some. But it was the 85th. It's Champions League, by the way, people. Granada CF away at Stamford Bridge. 85th minute, one of my players hits a penalty away. Chelsea players start flopping in the penalty box, and Chelsea obviously got the winner there. But then they got like a shitty second goal. But outside of that, we didn't lose a single game on the stream again. So
let's go, man.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're approaching January window, so people, we're gonna try to be there in the January window on the next stream and trying to sign some new players again. So yeah, if you wanna follow, if you guys wanna follow the Twitch, I'm gonna put it actually in my. I need to start putting it in my headline here.
Yes.
I'm typing way too low. Let me myself type it.
It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no stress, man. Let Surfer and Hassam. Surfer will be here shortly. Surfer out here doing big things as well. He's been on Saeed's channel. He's on Hassam's channel. He's on Lewis's channel. He's on Casually FC. He's over here, man. He's being recognized in the street. Shout out Surfer, man. That's my guy right there, man. That's my don. So big up to Surfer every single time. Right, cool. You lot get your questions in as well. But let's get to it. The story here, Timo Werner loan extended. But it also said you'll be looking for more signings as well for Ange Postecoglou, with Brian Gill and other players linked with moves away, are reported to be moving away.
Yeah, kind of like when I first saw the tweet sent to the group, I was like, "Yo, you got me in the first half. Kind of like you had me in the first half." Because I saw advanced talks to sign Timo Werner. Then I kind of started collapsing in the middle of my room. Couldn't believe it. But then I saw the rest of the tweet. And I'm like, it's for another loan with the same kind of situation. Mm-hmm. So people obviously, some people are in a mindset of like, oh my god, why did we do this? Some people are like, obviously I'm gonna go my view in a second. Some people are like kind of cool because they want him to stay. I'm the mindset of Brian Gill, Solomon. You guys have to leave the football club. I said this already. Like for me, these guys, these two particularly, need to leave my football club for various reasons. And I can't lie. I thought if we signed Werner back, I thought it was gonna be the permanent option that we're gonna buy. So obviously, Silver has the idea that it's Levy that's been trying to get Werner in or something like that. I think it's Postecoglou, but the club doesn't want to pay the 70 million because 70 million is nothing. We can easily
cheap.
pay. Is much cheap. So for my question was, if you want the Werner to stay, why just not pay the option to buy? It's 70 million. This option is that 50 million, it's 2 million difference now. So I feel there's a caution of the fact that 6 months is not enough to rate Werner and say, okay, this is why you deserve to be bought. But I think in the mindset is in the club as well is that this guy might not be good enough, which I think also that's why we don't want to buy you. But then the manager wants him at the football club because he believes he can be an asset. So it's kind of an unspoken corporate. As much as I like him as a manager, he hasn't really proven yet to the point where we're like, okay, we're gonna give you every single sign that you want, and you deserve to keep this. And you can't make a debate. So I think, me personally, I'm not mad at it. The fact that it's alone, but I said already, like for me, regardless of Timo Werner staying or leaving, my mindset is you should have had. We need 2 wingers this summer, or a winger, Timo Werner, and a striker. Or if Werner didn't have joined, 2 wingers and a striker. Because I feel like we really need to kind of start looking at the attack and be like, bro, we had like Johnson. He kind of started turning up more in the second half of the season, compared to the first half of the season. Son dropped off at the end of the season. Madison dropped off at the end of the season. Richarlison just getting injured. He had a good spell where he scored, but even when he kind of started coming back, it's like you just come back from injury and all the momentum that you built is gone, and it happens too many times. I think Werner was the starting left winger. And which is the only part. I said this before. At some point in the season, Werner was probably one of our better looking attackers. Which just tells you more, and I'm talking about all the attackers who are involved in attacking areas.
Yeah.
Which tells you more. Which tells you pretty much how bad the attack has been.
That's why I say. If Werner at any point is your best attacker, that means your attacker is something is wrong. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's why I'm not necessarily. Yes. So there's definitely. So I definitely feel like there is an idea of why they wanted him back, but then the club also knows this guy is also not that good to buy him because buy him for 70 million, but you're on a 5-year contract. Hard to move you on later on. So my mindset is you have to make sure that you get another winger that is actually starting. And for me, Cardio Kulusevski, bro, too many guys thinking up this joint. Like my biggest worry is the fact that we need to get rid of the Deadwood first. Like we're not signing players if the Deadwood is leaving. Like Brian Gill, Emerson. Apparently, Emerson's agent met yesterday with AC Milan's representatives. So he's probably going to be on this move. Richarlison put on his IG story he's not going to leave England. Well, then go to fucking Bournemouth then. Get your ass out of my football. You okay? Cool. You can stay in England, but bro, tell me a Sunday. Hey, chat. Tell me a team on the Sunday League in London. Go to that team, bro. Don't stay in my football club if you want to stay in England. That's all good and well, bro. Like get your ass out of here, bro. Like, I mean, like I can't trust me. Werner back on a loan. Respect to the channel, all I'm talking about for at this hour. Thank you. But,
big up to Rodders who said, respect to this channel, only one that talks about football at this hour. We cater for all time zones, man. So whether it's UK time zone, that's why we got the daytime shows, or if it's nighttime and it's more America, Canada, this may suit Australia and other areas, maybe Asia as well as a continent. Yeah, man, we cater for all people. We cater for all. If you would like us to do a show that's more suited to the time zone you're in, please let me know, and I will try and pattern that. But I look to cater for all continents across the globe. So like I say, Europe, well, obviously the UK, even though it's not a continent, but England, UK, of course, Europe, America, Asia, Africa, the Caribbean. If I'm missing somewhere, please let me know. I need to check the analytics as well.
Yeah.
Big up to Victor in the cut as well. He's been a member of the channel for 19 months.
Man like Victor.
Man said, Enzo Maresca army. I thought you were Crystal Palace. Move. This guy.
Hey, Victor. Shout out to Victor, man. He's playing for the Spurs Academy. He won us the PL2. Hey, man. I saw a picture. Like I'm gonna send the picture later. Now, but like, what's going to the Werner? Werner's my least concern, and the fact that the club is actually that smart and said, you know what, Leipzig, let's do the same conditions for another loan. Is not the worst deal that I can think of, but it needs to come with the condition that certain things are happening, which is a starting winger and a new striker, or two wingers, in my opinion. Plus, Brian Gill and Solomon have to leave the football club. Is these conditions happening? Go, Werner, you can stay here. You're going to be a depth player. You're going to play over 70 games of football, plus the Euros, plus the Olympics. So we do need to get some replacements about
bodies.
Bodies. We just need bodies, bro. At this point, we just need bodies. So I'm not necessarily mad about it. Like I said, I was going to come on here if you're going to buy the guy permanently, which we didn't do. And I'm actually happy that they used their brain and said, you know what? Don't buy him, but at least then, if you really want him, loan him. Then, if you're really that desperate to have him back, loan him. So I just hope that they're being smart about for the rest of the window, because I always talk about how the second season for every manager is, for me, the biggest season, because you had 2 preseasons, you had 2 summers, and you had ample amount of time to check out the academy, check out the first team, and check out who's good enough for your stuff in terms of the training stuff, whatever set pieces, offensive coaches, defensive coaches, goalkeeper coaches, fitness coaches. You had enough time to assess everything, or oversee everything. So yeah, man, like I'm not really in a situation of, oh my god, Werner's coming back. My mindset is, how do we end the window? Because under Conte we started the window very well. I remember people say, oh, under Conte Spurs can compete for the league, and you saw how that ended. So for me, yeah, let's see how this window goes, man. Like I'm not really in the state of, oh my god, I'm about to lose my shit now.
First, and side note, this ain't to do with any of the clubs in the title, but we move. Felix put here, Real Madrid have a verbal agreement with Alphonso Davies. The Spanish clubs want to sign him for 30 to 35 million euros. The sources, is that Relevo? So yeah, I don't know how reliable the source is, but it makes sense. Alphonso Davies going to Real Madrid. I think it's a
good source. I think it's a good source in Spain, actually. It's quite consistent. It says they got an agreement with Alphonso Davies. It doesn't say with Bayern, so I don't know what Bayern's stand is currently.
And to Victor, who says, worked with Pep, looks like Pep, we might have got our Pep region. Yeah, sure, man. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the Leicester manager. Enjoy the championship manager, man. That's all I say. You know what I'm saying? That's all I will say to that. Again, big up Sheik, who says, run up the likes. You lot get your questions in. Of course, you want to make sure your question gets answered. Super chat, but get your questions in. Please just keep them Manchester United, Chelsea, or Spurs related. However, if some big news does break, let us know when we will discuss it, people. Let us know when we will discuss it as well. Let me see, did we actually miss anything? I don't think we actually did miss anything. Let me double check. I'm just scrolling back here to the top. So who else would you actually like to see leave, Jess? You mentioned Brian Gill. You mentioned Solomon. What are you saying with Charleston?
If you want to, I can bring up the Tottenham squad and then literally I can make. I can pull it up. Why not? Why not? Since Philippa's still also here.
Yeah.
All right, one sec. Let me get this up in the meantime. I was a big everybody in the chat. I hope everyone had an amazing day today. Just have to say that. All right, yeah, cool. Facts. Okay, share screen. Share.
Yeah. Hey, YG, big up YG. Big up to YG in the cut.
All right, can you see
it? Yeah. That's calm.
Okay, calm. So Oliver skip keep and homegrown regions. Højbjerg leave. Dragosin just came to stay. Son stay. If a good offer comes in for Bissouma, I consider selling. A good offer. Okay. Yeah, I consider selling if we get a good offer.
What was the second half of his season that disappointing where you're just like, enough's enough?
Oh, he's been disappointing since ever the Luton game when he got sent off. So it's more than half of a season. Like I think there's some people that overdo it with Bissouma in terms of his performances, but I just feel like from a natural fit, I just don't see how he fits as the 6 at the club, and also as a number 8. I feel like there's certain traits, which is not his fault, but there's just certain traits where he just misses in terms of his commitment when he's off the ball. And it's just certain players. I don't blame players for that. Certain players have it, and certain players don't have it. Certain players have massive commitment off the ball, but they shit on the ball. So it happens. And Richarlison, I said already, man, sell Richarlison. I make a lot of judgment about Maddison, but Maddison's not going to leave. So I want competition for someone that Maddison comes in. So in case
you want another 10, you want somebody else there to compete with him. That makes sense.
With him, yeah. Because he ended the season dreadful. Brian Gill, leave. The fact that he's number 11 is crazy. Yeah, leave my football club. Emerson's already getting linked to their club, so leave. Vicario stay, obviously. Werner's gonna stay for another season. Don't really mind. Christian Romero stay. Lo Celso's a tricky one. The guy tends to get just injured every single time for whatever reason. But But I still think he has qualities he can help the team as a squad player, considering how bad the squad overall already is. But the manager doesn't like him for whatever reason, so I think he's gonna leave. So it's a shame, but for a good offer, I sell also. Ryan Sessegnon, bro, I don't know when this guy ever will be fit again. I feel kind of bad for him. I feel bad for him. As many jokes as I make because it's pretty much injuries what's really keeping him from what he's currently going through. So I heard the club wants to terminate his contract, but let him still use the facilities up until he finds a new football club. If that happens, I'm happy with that.
First.
Fraser Foster's, I would sell and would like to look for a new goalkeeper. We have a goalkeeper actually in the academy right now which we can use for the English quota, even if you want to as
So
a
you
backup.
reckon backup first?
Yeah, so looking for a backup. Yeah, Dejan Kulusevski. If a really good offer comes in, so in my opinion, if a really good offer comes in, bro, I just think since the 6 months that he has been at the football, at the first 6 months, I think he has been extremely underwhelming. So to be fair to him, I appreciate sometimes what he does, which will not be shown on the stat sheets. But in reality, when you're an attacker, these days you have to boost number.
Yeah, I think he's a 10. I don't think he's a wide player. When I watch him, I think he's a 10.
I agree.
I think potentially you'd get so much more out of him.
I agree. I agree as well. But the issue is we have Madison.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And I just feel like Kulusevski has not performed to a standard where, you can actually push Madison to the bench. Obviously, would there be a scenario where you can have a situation where Kulusevski is a squad player now, and you look for a new right winger, and you make Kulusevski to compete in number 10 with Madison? That is a scenario that I would listen to. But I don't know, man. It's just currently a situation where he's just not getting the game time there enough, and Madison gets all the game time, so he's pushed on the right wide wing situation. So, it's more of an unfortunate situation. If a good offer comes in, I would consider selling, but it needs to be a really good offer. But next season, he also has to really prove me, okay, you deserve to stay at the football club. So yeah, this is what I say about Kulusevski. Johnson stay, Powell stay, Solomon I already said leave, Sarr stay, Bentancur another one. If a good offer comes in, I consider selling. Other one, Ben Davis, the guy is pretty much an emergency kind of player at this point. So if he goes, not really care. If he stays, not really gonna care. He's a kind of at this point emergency. Van der Ven must stay, Edogi must stay, and these are just goalkeepers, obviously, who are just there to make up the numbers. Yeah, to make up the numbers. Austin just signed a new 5-year deal, so he's probably just fine being third choice. And I think Arthur Whiteman is going to leave the football club, so whatever. Sergio Reguilon, him and Ange don't look eye to eye. I think his time at Tottenham has been shit. And it happens, man. Certain football clubs you don't do well, certain football clubs you do well. Like he did well for United. He did well for United. He did well for United. He's doing well for Brentford, but Tottenham is not working. So I personally would sell him because his stocks are actually getting better. So I sell him. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Perisic is already in Croatia. Eric Dyer is already at Bayern. He's not going to come back. Tanganga is already going to go to Millwall. Yeah, Millwall. I don't have to Scooby-Doo what's going to happen with him down below. Bro, like the dude won a league title and the Galatasaray fans don't like him. Like, that's
crazy.
It's crazy. Jet Spence, I think I always called this from day one. This was one of the signings that people looked at Martinelli. People saw him looking at Martinelli in the FA Cup, and he thought he was going to be the next guy. I always knew this was not going to work out. So Spence, sorry, bro, sold 2 teams, but out of here, man. Ashley Phillips loan, Bellis loan, and Joe Rodon. He can go back to Leeds again because Leeds fans love him actually. By the way.
Okay.
So yeah, they love him. So Leeds 20 million, happy, thank you. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick run through of who I would keep and who I would stay. So majority pretty much means so, which kind of just shows you in terms of where the squad is. Whereas considering that Ange has gotten 5th place with some of these players on the team, I give him massive credit to, but I also feel like sometimes his management also is what let him down, in my opinion. In terms of, we could have gotten Champions League this season if he'd managed certain games better.
Absolutely. I agree with that. It's big up Surfer in the cut. Yes, Surfer, how you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Long day. Got normal work job, and then after on about 4 streams. Obviously, this one was already put in. Not 4 streams, 2
Hey,
streams.
Hollywood Surfer needs to be the name, though. No Winter
Yo,
Surfer.
that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's Hollywood. When you out here, when you wanted and you know,
my club's on a mad one. Yeah, that's
you're on Saeed TV, Carefree
Yeah.
Lewis G. This is football, Casually FC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you could make time for us.
No,
I'm just the common folk now.
This is like the good flu shot version of podcast. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good.
We got Surfer in the cut anyway, because Warrior J said in the chat was like, he's on This Is Football arguing with his Sam Surfer's gonna be a minute. I was like,
I didn't really argue with Sam that much. No,
Sam not that much. That's cool.
Not argumentative today. Yeah.
Maybe he's still got food poisoning. That's why he's still on the come down, because he wasn't well. I'm hoping he's feeling better though. I'm hoping he is feeling better. Big
just
up
to that comment. Wow.
It's facts, yo. He's probably still on the come down for the food poisoning because he wasn't well earlier on this week. So that's probably why he's probably still getting back to himself. Because the Denzel says, Flawless, what's your hopes for United next season? New manager, clear identity of playing, some good football, and a trophy. That's it. That's my hopes for next season. Obviously, those things will become more specific once we realize who the manager is and recruitment and things of that nature. But there's just the basics of what I'm looking for. Like I say, new manager, clear identity, good football, and trophy. Because we're in the Europa. You got Europa League, you got FA Cup, you got League Cup. So you got 3 trophies to target. Ten Hag just won the FA Cup, he won the League Cup last season. Manchester United need to get back to that, of just winning cups on a regular basis. So I'm glad we've won trophies back to back. That now needs to continue with the next guy. And you got 3 opportunities. So whoever the case may be, that's what I would say. Flawless, please, do you think this summer is the time to move Luke Shaw on centre-back and buy a new left-back? The thing is, I like Luke Shaw as a centre-back. When he played as a centre-back last season, it was all well and good. Problem is, he can't stay fit. I'm tired. Just keep it stepping. It's time to move him on. I don't know how many more injuries he's going to suffer, and it's like, it's just injury prone. He's been here 10 years, and we're still talking about, can we get the best out of him? When will we see it? It's a wrap.
Hey, one is a taller, and one is Luke Shaw, man. You hate to see it.
Exactly, man.
Like, when you actually look at the injury history, Luke Shaw's injury history is not that far away from Martial.
It's worse than Martial's.
It's
worse than Martial's.
It's crazy.
And I agree, don't get mistaken. Martial is also injury prone and should be moved on and will be, but so should Luke Shaw be. In particular, he was signed at the time he was signed for big money, and also he's on big money as well and hasn't delivered. But we'll see what the new regime do, because he's probably one of our highest earners.
I like to spell a Smith. Luke Shaw's a Chelsea fan, just to let you know, everyone in the chat. You know,
he's a Chelsea fan, yeah.
It's about this thing
Chelsea,
about,
isn't it?
Yeah, but that's something about this thing about, but he's a Man United fan. No, Luke Shaw's a Chelsea fan. Sancho's a Chelsea fan. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like, don't matter, bro. It's where the bread is.
It's like it's facts. Like these men are fans and supporters of the club. No, they support.
Man, you will come after me. I can't go to Man United.
I go to Manchester United with all that prestige and all them zeros on that contract. Shut up, man. Like, and put on a red shirt. What are we doing out here? It's ridiculous. But yeah, Surfer, you mentioned it there. The chaos, well, not even chaos, but all the conversation, all the news coming out of Chelsea. Obviously, you sacked Maurizio Pochettino, then was linked with so many different managers, then went and got Enzo Marchesa from Leicester. The deal has been agreed. Signs 5-year deal. We actually haven't spoken on it on stream in depth. Like, I've heard bits and pieces of what you said in the group chat, but I've not heard your full thoughts on it. So yeah, thoughts on it. New manager, new boss.
Yeah, looking like it. Yeah, all but signed, all but that picture of him outside. Outside of Cobham. Yeah, because we're not just taking him; we're taking like the whole team. Looks like a pilgrimage. That's what we're taking at the moment.
Oh, you take his coaching staff as well.
We're taking everything, bro. It's like, I don't know. We're probably taking his favorite tea lady at this moment in time as well.
Hey, you know what? Bring Barbara, man. If she makes a bad boy cuppa, hey, she got roll through.
He put in a request for his favorite Uber driver around there as well, so that probably will happen. Yeah, I mean, listen, I was in agreement with Poch going. He didn't earn the second season, and if you can't work with someone and they can't work with you, there's no point dragging it out. I don't want it to go, oh, yeah, we'll see if we can work. And then we're in November and they start falling out and then we have to search for a new manager or an interim, something like that. And all this about, yeah, but the timing's not right. Well, when did you want them to do it? Like middle of the Euros? With your last day of the transfer window? And when do you want them to sack him? Get it done and over with. You then come out for your own media and you go, yeah, we want to win a trophy and top 4. Okay, no problem. That's keeping up with standards, right? Or standards, okay. Then you give me a short list and the top 2 names are the Ipswich manager and the Leicester manager. And I go, okay.
It don't go hand in hand.
That's
interesting.
That's interesting. And I was on Sam's channel. I said to him, I tried to wrap this up in a word or an image of this whole situation. And I put it down to the Russell Westbrook clip of him in the locker room when he's asked a question. And he goes, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
It's not like
what do you just say?
What? Yeah, like that. And then you give this guy a 5-year contract. Now it's coming out that he wanted a 5-year contract after the project that was being presented to him, which probably means, translating to me, a couple of things that, you know, the normal 2+1 is probably not long enough for what you're wanting to do at this club. You know, we're looking, yeah, we can progress, but probably not as fast as you want us to progress. And it's also a bit of protection for himself. It's actually a 5+1 deal. It's not even 5, it's 5+1.
Oh, geez.
Potential for 6. Now, I hope he gets the 6th one. That means he's doing a good job.
That's true.
Listen, I'm not a tactico. I don't care what he did for Leicester because they're in the Championship. And for people who don't watch the Championship, it's probably the most physically demanding league in all of football. It's the hardest league to get out of. Of course, they should be getting out of it because their wage bill is like the 10th highest, I think, in English football, let alone.
Yeah, they were one of the favourites to get out.
Championship. And I know they lost like Maddison and Barnes stuff like that. Yeah. So anyone showing me, oh, this is what he did at Leicester against blah blah blah. I don't care. It doesn't apply to me. Do you know what I mean? He's now going into a job where the players are better and the opposition's better. So or it should be. So I don't really care what he does there. Yeah, it's one of those where he's going to be here. So the argument of why are we hiring him? Why are we doing this? It has to stop in the fan base because he's going to be here. You're just going to have to accept that he's getting the job. Whether you accept him as the manager is totally up to you to do so. But like just see how. Yeah, you're right, Jess. You're right. They were probably saying even Pep Guardiola's thing, who was Pep.
The difference with that one is because he's come from Barcelona B. That's just like a promotion.
I think, and also I think because he was like one of their good players as well.
Yeah, there's one he played for them, and 2, you're within the company.
So it gives him a bit more latitude. It gives him a bit more space.
We'll be a bit.
You
know the inner workings. Like I would feel that way if Manchester United went and gave the job to who's I don't know, we are under 21. I think that's the lowest. The if Manchester United went and gave the job to the under 21 coach, even though I'd have my reservations, I'd be like, I can see where you are coming from because he works within the company type of thing. Yeah, it's like a promotion from within the company. So
so I totally understand that, and like I said, mine if it does go belly up, my even now my gaze is not on the manager because I actually don't know what he's going to do. I can't like sit here and say to you, top 4 and trophy. The trophy should be the Conference League. That should be a walkthrough. Do you know what I mean? So that should be a walkthrough for me, no matter who you play in there. I was just thinking, side note, on the names of some of those clubs, and I realised that some of those names can be described. You know, when you wake up in the morning one way and you stretch, but you make a sound and go. Like that. or you know, have you ever had cramp if you've been asleep or if you're out in public and you can't swear, but you go like that? That's some of the names are in the European Conference League.
What if he doesn't win the Conference League? Like, would you be like Maresca out immediately, or
there'd have to be something where, like, if he went oh yeah, I'm in the race for top 4 and I can't risk my big players. I'm going to play all the youth. Then I'd be fine with that. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah, there's enough. Like Jess said, there's enough talent in the squad to put that into bed really, and also no teams are dropping into it. Do you know what I mean?
That's a big thing.
Like, we should walk through that, and I don't care what anyone says. We should. It'd be the same if like Newcastle were in it, or like even Man United. This Man United in it, they should walk through that. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest. It's not a good competition in terms of names and stuff like that. But no, listen, it's not. Obviously, it's not everyone's pick. It wasn't mine. But I'm not like going to go. Yeah. Let's do this. You know what I mean? I need convincing because I don't know what he's going to do. I didn't watch Leicester. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It's like Leicester couldn't play the football they played in the Championship that they're going to come up with because they'll get relegated. Also, on a side note, I just found out today that Leicester could be facing a 15-point deduction at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So no wonder
I did see that as well. Yeah, I did see that. How
that
true
would
is
be
that?
crazy.
I don't know.
It's because it has to do with
something in between that. I think that's the most they can get like that. It will probably be. But I said, no, I was thinking to myself, no wonder he wants to get out there quickly.
Hey, bro, I already done, bro. Like, what the hell do you mean by that?
It's like, I'm only one of the favourites to get relegated. I probably can't spend as much, and you're going to give me a point deduction. Oh wait, Chelsea have covered it. Oh, okay. I'll go to Chelsea then.
Yeah, I'll say Chelsea fans might hate me, but at least I can work with another Enzo. Like I've seen the joke. I've seen the joke going around, man. I've seen the joke already going around. How Enzo's doing well. Which one though?
Yeah.
Which
you have to say his full name. You can't even say Enzo. You have to say Enzo Maresca.
Or on video games it says Enzo F. Enzo F. But I can't lie, man. That's crazy.
There's people out there that YouTube videos you want to go follow them that think how we're going to play and stuff like that. But I'm just thinking of summer transfer window, and it's funny now we're linked to goalkeepers. As soon as we get to this guy who likes to obviously goalkeeper to play, and obviously,
why is Petrovic not good enough for playing out from the back?
He needs to be good on the
one
ball.
of his weaknesses. It's one of his weaknesses is his distribution. I think he's built to be a number 2 at the moment anyway.
First.
And Sanchez is just shit. So he's just crap.
That guy
No, and the ironic thing is, you know what? The last game he played was against Leicester in the FA Cup, where he got caught out a couple of times.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that game.
They outplayed us in this game. We're going down to 10 minutes.
But then you guys won. Yeah.
Who's that winger, Jess? That French winger that they have?
The French winger. I think that's Leeds.
Yeah, the one that literally destroyed Gusto, by the way. And I haven't said that a lot this season. There was a French winger they had that laid him out, that left him for dead. That scored.
You talking about Leicester?
Yeah, Leicester. Yeah, they've got like a French. I think it's a French winger.
I know Leeds got Jorginho Rutter at Leeds, but I don't think Leicester got a French. I don't think Leicester had a French winger. Let me just look up real quick just to make sure. But
he's like he's bringing all this stuff.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, he came from the French league, but it's actually English. It's Mavadivi. Yeah, he's a hooper.
Someone mentioned him in the chat as well.
He's bringing all this stuff with him, which helps him settle in. But this now goes to the board. You've given him a 5-year deal, which you didn't have to do. But you're giving him a 5-year deal, which means if somehow next season we finish 8th, but we don't win anything, you still have to stick with him. Because this year you've actually told us what you want. You want a progressive coach who's willing to evolve, teach players, et cetera, et cetera. So you've actually laid it out through your media. It will be literally a point next season. There'll probably be a point where we lose like 3 games in a row, and that's when you'll look. Not even the fans, because I think some of the fans just won't take him anyway. But that's when I'll be looking at the board, going, okay, don't even come out with a public statement that you're backing him. He doesn't need that. Doesn't need your vote of confidence. Doesn't need that. Just literally let him do what he needs to do. And football fans are easy to please. If the first 10 games of next season we win 6, draw 3, and lose 1, okay. I'll take that. Do you know what I mean? That's fine. If I'm seeing some consistency in how we're trying to play, even if we lose a couple of games, or anything like that, but I'm seeing consistency in the play, we're playing well, and I think, okay, we just need to fine-tune this or tweak this or change this or maybe move another player this way, then that's fine. The problem, one of the problems was Poch, there was no consistency in how we played.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We went from like drawing 4-4 with Man City and then losing 2-0 at home to Brentford. Yeah. We went from beating Manchester United in the last minute and then drawing 2-2 away to Sheffield United.
And Burnley back to back.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So listen, I'm not going to staunch in there and go, yeah, I'm fully backing him in terms of, yeah, he's my manager and stuff like that. I just want to see what he's going to do before I can make up my mind.
I think that's fair, to be honest, because it's like I can't. Because I said this argument before, like some people think I'm taking the piss or anything, which I don't. I'm like saying like because this was kind of the similar situation with Ange. I'll be honest, I didn't watch Yokohama FC or whatever team he was in Japan. I don't watch Celtic like that. But I'm like, okay, this is a new direction. I can listen to that. It's not the let's chase the big manager and Enrico Nagelsmann manager. This one that I probably didn't see coming at all. So with Chelsea, I cannot maybe see the idea. I think the only thing that you maybe can question with the hiring is that like it just feels a bit random. It had to be.
It's very random. It's very random. And it's very confusing the messaging they're letting their media come out with.
Yes. And
you can't go top 4 in a trophy and then your top 2 on that short list was McKenna and this guy, Enzo.
Yes.
How does that make any sense?
It's a lot of expectations. Like obviously on their Chelsea, and there's already Chelsea fans that I've seen. They don't care. This is Enzo Maresca. It's top 4 in the trophy at bare minimum that you have to do. And we can talk about Enzo Maresca's tactical, how we play football. What's your mental side of the football? How do you connect to the football fans of Chelsea FC? How do you do in the press conference? That's a massive thing for Chelsea for the last 2 years now. How do you deal when you're in the losing streak? How are you dealing with the players when they don't like you? Apparently they like Pochettino a lot. So how are they gonna do? It's a bunch of things to go into managing a big football club. I feel like I see people trying to use I feel like people trying to use the Enzo Maresca tactics to kind of overshadow what it means to really coach in the situation. Our fans want Ange out to be finished fifth.
I was watching a podcast today. All 4 people who were Spurs fans wanted Ange out. All 3 of them. And I was like, what?
Yes.
And
Ange out.
Okay.
And we talk about
no, it's growing. Seriously, it's growing. That is growing in the first fan base. It's growing.
I've been saying this for the longest. Like there is sections in this fan base that actually are Ange out. Yes,
it's the City game. Okay. Right.
And even then it was already building, but then they're like, okay, Ange triggered these guys into it. I'm like, shit, guys, you've been way too overreactive. But it's the kind of like the point. Football fans are just really weird in a way, I would call us.
Yeah.
But this is just how emotions can really impact us in how we think about certain guys.
Well, my fan base is just pathetic. I mean, they organised a protest for Sunday and then had to reorganise it because there was a mini kids football tournament there.
I think
myself, well, first of all, the first mistake you made was advertise you're organising a protest to begin with. Protests you don't organise, you just do them. Do you know what I mean? They're there to disrupt and be inconvenient for others, not to go, hey, can we do it on Sunday when is that good? Is that good for you if we do that? You'll be out, right?
What was the actual protest? This was what confused me. What was the actual protest for?
I think
what were they protesting against?
I think it was just they wanted to change the model in terms of, it was after the Poch thing, and it was like, I hope sincerely none of them were going, oh yeah, Poch deserved to stay after a 5-game run. It was like,
I think it was a part of it.
I think some of them were like that, and that's just amazing.
Right, that's just foolishness, but we
and it's like, and then it got rearranged. And I'm thinking stuff. So you're doing a protest when our season's over, right? You're doing it at Stamford Bridge where no one will probably be there, yeah. So who's it really going to inconvenience? Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, why don't you just do it at the start of next season? We're even on a pre-season tour. Why don't you do that when all the cameras will be around? Why don't you do it in the Wrexham game? Because that would be a big cameras on there because of who owns Wrexham and stuff like that. Why don't you do it there? Why don't you do it at the first game of the season? Why don't you do it there? Instead of paying for player banners, no matter who it is, why don't you pay for a banner that actually will say something? Why don't you just produce those tiny posters that will say something? It doesn't have to be like anything rude. It can just be literally change the model or change this or something like that. Or things need to change. You don't even have to do any threats or tell everyone to piss off or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You can easily do that. But what it will still go back to the directors and the owners is, okay, so you got this guy in. What are you doing this summer? Because to me, I'm sorry, listen, he might be good, but if you're telling me the striker target's Benjamin Sesko, then no.
You're not with Sesko. You like the Osherman link, so.
Being the main dog. I'm not being the lead dog. If you want to put him on the bench, no problem. But I would get a Victor Osimhen or a Gorkaez like that to lead the line and a goalkeeper. And funny enough, we're in goalkeepers now. Okay, give me a good goalkeeper, a Bento or this Villarreal goalkeeper. I've never seen.
I think his name is Philip Jurgensen. I know he's a good. From what I know, only thing I don't know how good he is on the ball. I just know he's a good shot stopper.
But we were linked to Ortega as well from City, so it's like that.
Ortega as well. I didn't know that.
He hasn't signed a new contract I'm aware of. So my dream would be to get a Diogo Costa. I don't think it will happen. But I would get him. I think I'm not going to get Magnon because for a goalkeeper, he gets too injured. Do you know what I mean? And that really freaks me out when a goalkeeper gets really injured. That's like, you know what I mean? That's like weird. Do you know what I mean? When he's getting really injured.
Bro, you just said know the meme that's like there's not a single Sunday where you have to do this move. Like it's that right there. Like a goalkeeper getting injured should not happen. I'm sorry.
I said this is not a single Sunday. You're an idiot, yo.
I just feel the same, bro. It doesn't make sense. It fully
makes sense. Nah, it don't make sense because every time I've gone to watch Young, he's been injured. Every time like there's an AC Milan game going on, or it's France in the international tournament, I'm like, okay, let me actually watch Young for like a full game or full games, I should say. And man, he's injured. What do you mean he's injured?
I think he'll be like that. I know he's going. I think he'll get injured in this tournament, so it'll be like.
Even for AC Milan a couple of weeks ago, actually. So
you bet. Yeah. I need France to do the business, man. Because Mbappe, like, you need a trophy. Man.
Hey, I don't actually know who actually the backup because Luis retired, so I don't know who the backup goalkeeper is.
Someone will know in the chat. Who's the goalkeepers who made their squad? The chat will know anyway. Before we continue,
I think Courtois got left out, didn't he, for Belgium?
How did Courtois get left out? Who's their first choice?
I don't know either. I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know, bro. I need to actually look it up. If I see the team sheet, I probably recognize who the first team goalkeeper is. But it's not.
So Maresca's going to come in. It's all but done. They're just doing out the financial package for his staff and everything like that. That will go in. Someone's put in the chat there about Palmer. Is he going to get a lesser role? I don't think he'll get a lesser role. He's coached Palmer before. He's coached Lavia before. He's coached Tosin Adebayo, who we linked to before as well.
Centre back from Fulham.
And I keep saying this to people in like opposition fans, where they go, "Oh, what are you going to do with Palmer's double team?" Okay, well, just buy Elise, then you won't be double teamed. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to target Elise as well. Do you know what I mean? Or getting Cuckoo fit. Then who are you going to? Okay, double team Palmer. You just lay spaces for this guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, go on. I dare you to. Well, if we get them, I dare you to double team Palmer. Let's see what you're going to do then. Because you won't. Because you'll be worried about Elise. You're very fitting Cuckoo, Caicedo in the middle, stuff like that. Maybe an Osimhen up front, and do that. Let's see what we can do. You know, but yeah, it'll be very interesting again this season, this summer, especially. Going through, we'll just wait for that. Here we go, and Ornstein Bomber at the same time, and then we'll go on from there. It's just, I would say it was like for me, it's an underwhelming appointment. If I'm being polite, so you go.
I was looking at it as underwhelming.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair. Like, I don't blame anybody.
I asked the gal this earlier what his thoughts were when they hired Arteta.
What did he say?
And he said at the time it was just that Emery had just lost the dressing room, and it was so much people weren't even turning up at the Emirates and stuff like that, and it just needed to happen. And I should have really pressed him on and go, okay, yeah, but what did you really feel about being linked to Arteta? I know you said you were linked to him before, and stuff like that. I can only attribute it to something like that, or even, I wouldn't even say even Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso, really. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, but
I might go a Bayern Munich fan with Vincent Kompany.
The company, yeah. Like that's the same situation. Like I know a couple of Bayern fans who are not.
Yeah. I know Bayern fans who were going really thinking about Kompany this summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's them. It's the same thing, just underwhelming. It's like you really went and got the manager from Burnley. Yeah, like it is super underwhelming. But big up to everyone that's locked in. Just under 60 people in here. We're only at 27 likes now. There's only over 60 people in here right now. We're only at 27 likes. Like check 1 2 1 2. Like check 1 2 1 2. Let's get up to 50 likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Yes, man, catch you on the playback later because we will be over there in about 40 minutes for game 4 of the Mavericks Timberwolves. Make sure you do that, people. Make sure as well. Yeah, man's getting his jokes off as well. And to Gavin C, who said this, United accepted it'll be a long road once Fergie left. Time for Chelsea fans to accept a long rebuild after Roman. Here's what I'll say to that before Surfer responds, because you mentioned Chelsea as well. My problem isn't with Manchester United failing. That's not where my main issue lies. Yes, it's disappointing when my team fails and doesn't compete and doesn't win major honors. The approach. I say this all the time. If we're attempting to do the right things and get it wrong, I'm much more accepting. The same way there's a way to lose football matches. Like if we would have lost the FA Cup final, yes, I'd be very disappointed because Manchester United lost the FA Cup final. However, we did everything in our power. We were competitive. The game plan was correct. The players did their best to implement said game plan. That's all I ask. Attempt to do, and that's what my problem is with Manchester United. I always say my issue isn't with how much money Manchester United spend. Never once have I complained about how much we spend. How we spend it is the problem. We spend 150 million and you spend that right. That can improve your team so much. You get 150 million and buy 4 players, and that's the span of your team. So let's say it's a goalkeeper, a centre back, a central midfielder, and a striker. That can literally transform your team. If you had 250, you had 5 or 6. Now you have like half a team. I don't even have to be the greatest. You just have to have a competent coach and a system, and you surround the talent with tryhards, as Eddie always says, and all of a sudden, your team looks completely different. I may not get man of the match against Manchester City with all them quality players out there. Yes, he's quality, but we put him next to a tryhard in Amrabat, who's just going to do defensive midfielder things. You know why Amrabat's going to do defensive midfielder things? Because he's a defensive midfielder. It's like us here as content creators. You know what we're going to do as content creators? Bare minimum, talk. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk. Whether you agree, disagree with us, whatever, we are going to talk. We are going to provide some form of content. Whether you like the content, don't. Whether you agree, disagree, whether you think it's funny, not. Whatever the case may be. That's what Amrabat did. Was out there and was a nuisance. And all of a sudden, if you take Amrabat away from Mano don't perform like he does in that game. Then, if you put him next to McTominay, or you put him next to Bruno, like or Ericsson. But yeah, go on, Seth.
I disagree with the first part of his thing where he said United accepted it'd be a long road once Fergie left. I think. If I remember speaking to Man United mates at that time, it was trepidation and anxiousness about what it was going to be like without Fergie. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What the new David Moyes was going to do, what signings they were going to back. There's no Man United fan that could tell me in 2013 they thought they would be like this 11 years later. It's just not. Never thought.
I thought we get it right because I'm only used to success.
Maybe a year.
Yeah.
First
I thought, a year or two. I didn't want Moyes, so I was like, okay, we're gonna get it right. And I still believed in Van Gaal. I believed in Moyes. I mean, not Moyes. I believed in Van Gaal and I believed in Mourinho. I genuinely thought we were going to be successful under those two. Little did I know. Learning curve for me. Learning curve.
And I agree. It's like, I don't know if it could be a long rebuild. A rebuild, but there's been obviously mismanagement and bad choices by the owners and the directors in terms of how they built the squad and neglected certain parts of that squad, like the goalkeeper and the striker position. How they've left that open, because for me, those are the two most important positions on the pitch, and they're the ends of your spine if you're trying to build a competitive team. I'm not one of these people that does that thinks that these guys don't want to succeed. They bought us for 4.5 billion. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're not. It's not chump change. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, I'm buying. You know, you're not on GTA and buying a car. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, I spend properly on GTA.
I spend that as well. Yeah, I'm just saying.
You spend crazy on GTA. I'm different, but you spend crazy on GTA Surfer. Like I
I
actually
got
care.
to tell you, I got too many cars. I had to buy a new garage.
Yeah, see, the Surfer is out here. Like I actually put thought into what I'm buying on GTA. Surfer just be out here with new whips every other day.
I flash the cash. I've got my regular cars and I've got my assault vehicles. Okay, and I needed a new level. That was all.
That being said, people, I may run some GTA over the summer months. I'm
but that's on the PlayStation 5 version. The 4 I've neglected a bit, so it's all good. But yes, but there's no one because they're competitive in American sports and stuff like that. The billionaires like being billionaires because they don't want to waste their money. Okay, do you know what I mean? Billionaires don't like to spend money unless they have to. Yeah, and when they do spend it, they want to make sure whatever they spend it on is a success. Okay. It's success. So you've got Chelsea on your portfolio and they're doing badly. That reflects badly on you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. You're not telling me, this conspiracy. Oh yeah, they want us to. They bought us to drag us down and then sell us on. Well, they can't sell us on for 8 more years. What are you talking about? The pitch is not owned by them. It's owned by the Chelsea pitch owners. So that's why we can't even move from the stadium. So they really aren't going to be able to do that, are they? But they need to back this guy. They need to back this guy with quality. Not like the potential thing is done. The potential thing is that you want to add a few more potential things, that's fine. But the main bulk of the transfers need to be quality. And the age doesn't matter anymore because Elise's 21, 22. But he's quality and good to go right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You stick him in any team in the Premier League, and I don't care what any City fan says, I think he gets in the City team as well. I think he's a player that gets in the City team.
Agreed.
If he was playing Saturday as an option, I'm not saying they would have won, but at least he would have been an option for City against Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? He would have done something.
Definitely a debate.
Somebody they can actually go and run actually at this defender.
Right.
I tweeted at the half time. United did really well, making sure that I think what it was who was starting Bernardo Silva and Foden. That man could not. That man got locked up in the first half. Yeah, and then you see, and I said, City needed directness. Doku comes on, and even though I think Wan-Bissaka did a good job, it's no surprise that Doku was giving him trouble. They started being direct.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, you get. I know, and listen, I put it in the group chat. I think the only club that's doing worse than us, or feels like worse than yours and Ice for us at the moment, is Napoli at this moment in time. They could lose Cravadonna and Ottoman in the same window and get.
What is it? Where's he been linked away with Cravadonna?
PSG.
They put $100 million deal in, so they're pretty much convinced. Yeah, because Mbappe pretty much
got a lot of money now. They've got a lot of free cash now. Mbappe's got a lot of free cash.
Yeah, like they're gonna be chasing guys. Like I think they're gonna. I'm really convinced they're gonna start. I generally wouldn't be surprised if they might try his son. I might not even.
You lot next season, hey, Real Madrid watch alongs maybe a regular thing. I'm not gonna lie.
I just got and also the reports now. If Conte signs, he's obviously linked to Lukaku.
Yeah, that's his guy.
We want their striker. Just saying. You know what I mean? Add his total to what you want. Take that off, and we'll still pay you the money and Lukaku.
See, they heard the content. It's crazy. Kvaratskhelia agent heard the content. He said, "Get me the fuck out of here, bro. I ain't doing the wingback shift. I'm not doing the wingback shift, bro."
This guy's gonna play left wingback. He's gonna play left wingback. I don't track back. I don't like tracking,
bro. Like, hey, I can't lie, bro. Napoli. Good luck, bro. Like people thought that we don't spend money like that. Napoli had like one in a lifetime window. They got them the league title. A season later, Spalletti left, and this is the worst title descent that I've ever seen. I think Italy has 9 teams. Italy has 9 teams in Europe this season, and Napoli didn't make it. Bro. Yeah. They will have like 9 teams. They will have like 9 teams in Europe.
What did he get? Like 5 or 6 in the champs? How the hell did he get 9 teams?
Five teams in the champs, 3 in the Europa, and then probably 1, and I think 1 in the conference.
Yeah, Fiorentina's in the conference one already.
Yeah, and Corner, yes.
Mad.
So
I think if Dortmund win the Champions League this weekend, Germany could have 6 teams in the Champions League.
Yes. Yes. Like, I think Germany as of right now has 8
They
teams.
won the coefficient, so they get 5.
I forgot because they extended the Champions
They
League.
won the coefficient 5, but if Dortmund win it, they give it. Germany gets an extra place because Dortmund are the winners.
Yeah,
I don't think they will. They won't win it because Real Madrid will win it. But it's like
it's a long shot.
Flawless, what we would do with Jadon Sancho could be a Champions League winner soon. Celebrate. I celebrate that if Jadon Sancho wins the Champions League. Happy for him. Like I've said before, and I say it again on that situation, I've never seen one incident tar a whole become one. I've never seen one incident become somebody's whole personality. Since that incident happened with Jadon Sancho, he's a crybaby. He doesn't want to play for the club. He's got an attitude problem. You know what I'm saying? He's got a problem with coaches. He's always late. He'll never be successful in professional football. He should leave the game. No, but all of these things of one incident. Like, I've never watched that happen before. The way that man's character was assassinated because of one moment was crazy. Nothing.
Do you notice that?
Sancho. Yeah, go on.
Do you notice that the two English clubs he was at, there was problems at the English clubs. So there was a problem at City, like that. Apparently, there was a problem at City before he left and stuff like that. Goes to Germany, the same club twice.
No problems. And that's another thing that people said, like when he was at Man, like when it happened before he went back to Dortmund and was like, "Oh, Dortmund won't take him back because he had issues whilst he was there and all this rubbish."
I told people in the chat, bro, like I followed Dortmund for years now.
Yeah,
and whether they had an incident that a player complained to training. James Jones was not the first player that came late to training. Flash news, newsflash. Not the first player that missed training.
That's what it is. And then they brought him back, and then you hear how former teammates talk about him, like, yeah, when I was first there, he helped me out, etc., etc. And the crowd seemed to love him. The teammates seemed to love him. Like I said,
everybody loves him.
And I heard the other side, but that's what like just annoyed me so much about that Jadon Sancho situation, which is why I doubled down so much. Because one incident was like, oh, this is now what you are as a person. This is now what you are as a professional footballer. Like, you don't argue and have you never argued in the workplaces? I've had arguments in the workplace before. I've had arguments with bosses. I've had arguments with team leaders. I've had arguments with owners of the company. I've had arguments with my supervisor. I've had arguments with people who are in the same tier as me. I don't care. I have a problem.
Just think where that it actually came from as well. Jadon Sancho, when all this thing when Ten Hag mentioned about him, wasn't even playing in that match.
You didn't even play. He didn't even play.
He didn't even play, right? He was not even on the bench. You couldn't even go, oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. He looked a bit. No, he wasn't even selected in the squad. He was at home. That's why he reacted straight away. He reacted straight away.
And the way everyone ran with it, like in regards to people in my chat who had to cut that. Oh, he's a bad trainer. How do you know?
Bro, but he helped Dortmund get to the Champions League final. Like, you told me a bad trainer. No, I know there's certain players that are bad trainers. Like, everybody talks about how Hazard was a bad trainer, but who really cares if the dude's performing? Like, bro, let's talk about that. Like, bro, United have bare guys who properly train well. What the fuck did it help United? The worst season in the Premier League history.
Exactly. Like, I just didn't get it. Like, I don't think I've ever remember an incident where that's happened within football. Bro, where one incident has tied you for life. It might have happened in other sports, maybe earlier on in football, but I've never ever seen it happen where one incident and that's you. Bro, it's like a player getting sent off, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he can't keep his head. You know what I'm saying? He's reckless. He's dangerous. He should be banned for life. Except, like, I've never seen that happen before. It's mad. I've never seen it.
I had it with Ian Matson, you know. When he I
forgot about it.
He's too short. He can't defend. You know, stuff like that. He'll get dunked on at the back post. Rookie of the year, Bundesliga. Rookie of the year.
Rookie, and he came in. He came in January, bro.
4 months. He's been there 4 months. He's rookie of the year in Bundesliga. Oh, Bundesliga tax. Okay, well then don't tell me you want any player from the Bundesliga.
No, facts. Nkunku's literally came from the Bundesliga. Yeah, screaming about Nkunku save us.
And I'm sure we'd all take Alphonso Davies. Just say,
yes,
you know. I'm sure.
It's the same people that go like, oh yeah, but how good is the German league? Xabi Alonso did great. Xabi Alonso's great. Undefeated. Xabi Alonso, invincible season.
Oh man,
Like,
that's what I hate it, bro.
make the mind, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, it's just mad what people will take. You know, will take for when you watch the player, especially with like Maatsen. It's like, you know, he played like 1 or 2 games in his actual position where he was actually the Championship left back of the year for Burnley when they came up. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
I saw this guy literally play right wing back for me last year under Poch, right back. I saw him play as a 10. I saw him play as a DM, never as a left back. When we had our injury issues as well, it was like, what am I watching here? You'd rather have Levi Cole at left back than an actual player who can play left back.
Bro, like he was ready to have players out of form over him. Just so you know, it was bad, and I don't blame Maatsen's father trying to slam Chelsea.
No,
Obviously,
I don't either.
I don't blame him like bro, because he wants to see his son play football, and you see what his football has gotten Dortmund into a really good situation. Like
by the way, he's going Bayern Munich. I'm calling it right
bro.
now.
I mean, shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Bayern's gonna try
company there. Alphonso Davies leaving.
Yeah, like it's in the end of the day, it's a release clause. So whoever, like, if Dortmund doesn't pay the release clause, he's not going to come back. It's as simple as that. And then
no, he's not coming back.
I would imagine as well that there's going to be other clubs as well. Like, you're not going to ignore Maatsen with 35 million euros. I think is the release clause. You're not going to ignore that. Like, I want Tottenham to try and see what they can say to Maatsen. Yo, you know what are you saying, bro? Like, I rate the kid. I said this for a long time ago.
Unless Maresca can convince him like that, because otherwise we're gonna have to pay for. We're looking for a left back anyway. You know, unless he can convince him, that will save us a ton of money potentially
and time to look for a new position.
And especially now we don't have to, according to David Ornstein, we don't have to sell players by June 30th anymore.
Yeah,
so
and like, to TJ, I'm glad you said this, because then I know it's not just me. Yeah, you said, but we all know what this is about, said or not said. Tallest, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing: tallest is attitude, right? Us crackers, it's oh, don't worry. He's just so emotional about it. You know, he's just getting into it. He's just, you know, he doesn't. He's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's just passion. That guy's got an attitude problem. Which guy?
Yeah, attitude problem, and that's another thing. Because shout out to Steve, because when
what's an attitude problem?
Because exactly one, I've said that because that is so broad. An attitude, what is that like? That's not one thing. That's not, oh, you turned up late to training. That's not, oh, you don't get along with a teammate. Like, what is an attitude problem? You could have asked, I've used this analogy before, or the example, I should say. You told a player to bring the footballs out and he said no. That could be classed as an attitude problem. Right. You told a player go into the weight room for an extra half an hour and he chose to say no. That could be classed as an attitude. Like, what is an attitude problem as well?
It's like this. So you say something, I ask you something, and you say something to me, and I think I've heard it the wrong way. Attitude problem. Someone else rolling beside just heard you say it a normal way. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like
you know what I mean? It's how the person. That's why I say I always advise people now. Whenever you set that work, whenever you send an email, right? Make sure be careful how you write it, because some people will read it differently. Do you know what I mean? If you can, put a smiley face emoji on it. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Just make sure people don't realize you're being like.
Yeah, they know it's not anything serious and there's no behind this. And Albert, who gets to this, because we'll get to this, because I've had this conversation ever since it happened, when he says the rumors that circulated of his disciplinary problems at City have definitely tarnished his image a little, and it gives people a stick to beat him with. The crazy part is this was not a problem until what happened with Ten Hag happened. Nobody mentioned it. How many years ago was he at Manchester City? So he was at Manchester City.
He was 17.
It was barely mentioned at Manchester City. Bear in mind, he's 17. He then went Dortmund. Wasn't mentioned while he was at Dortmund. Also got in the England squad at those times. Wasn't mentioned when he was at England. Had a whole season at Manchester United. It wasn't mentioned whatsoever. Had a whole other, some bit like not half a season, but a few months at Manchester United. Then the issue with Ten Hag happened. Then all of a sudden his disciplinary problems. Ain't no disciplinary problems. What happened at City? Let's go do the research. Like the same way we can't just throw out attitude problem. Let's throw out disciplinary problems. What was it actually? You can go and Google it, people. It was nothing major.
Oh, it's funny, isn't it? Because Jude Bellingham went to Dortmund. No issues of attitude that we've heard of. He's gone to Real Madrid. you could say under that intense pressure, he could suffer from attitude problems, but nothing since then whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? It seems to be just at an English club issue. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's
I've
like-
only seen one thing tarnish it, like his issues at Manchester City. This wasn't mentioned until the issue with Ten Hag. Yes, like
like if this was an issue, like if people were really that concerned about this thing that happened in Man City, you talk about when United got first linked to Sancho, and not when you already signed him 1.5 years
United
into it.
pursued him for 2 years before they signed him. It wasn't like a single summer. It was 2 years. I remember it.
Crazy.
Signed him in 21, but they tried to sign him in all of 2020. You know what I mean? They couldn't get the deal done. So are you telling me that they did all their background checks on him? There was no issues then. So
yes,
it's just
all the background checks and no one has anything to say about this one incident.
Yeah, because you do. The big clubs do this now. They do. Yeah. It's not just about signing a player. It's about how they fit into your the culture of your club, right? Is there any issue you should be looking out for? You know, stuff like this. Is there anything that may trigger something? Like you know, just let us know.
Literally just his personality. Even like, how is he the person? How does he deal with people around him? All these type of things go into football as well. When you score the player, like you can have all the technical ability, but if you're an asshole and you can't get along with nobody wants to play with this dude. And that's how you see people ending up with certain places, because even though despite their ability, because nobody wants to work with you. That's what it is. And Sancho is not that type of guy. And one thing I would say, and I think it's probably a European thing, people don't really care about if you come late to training. Can you perform for my football club, please? That is the conversation at the end of the day. What should always be more about. It shouldn't be about what's happening off the pitch.
I don't think people even care how you do in training. Eden Hazard is reportedly one of the worst trainers. Have you heard John Obi Mikel's podcast?
Yes. I heard it. I heard about it.
Talks about Eden Hazard, and he talked to Eden Hazard about it. One of the worst trainers ever. Yeah? And you can understand why. It's why he fell off at Real Madrid, you know, stuff like that. But on the pitch, turned up. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. No. Just got it done. Literally the equivalent of when you play Sunday League football and your star player smoking a cigarette on the sideline. You know what I mean? Hands up hungover and bangs in a hat trick. Do you know what I mean? It's the equivalent of that.
That's what it is. And sorry, people, I was literally just researching in regards to Sancho. Like I said, man, go do the research with Sancho. And to Alba, who says, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying that anyone would have a problem with Sancho, would use it because, as you say, it wasn't mentioned until then. And I agree with that. And that's where the lazy narrative comes from. It's extremely. To Eli says, if y'all keep him flawless, your club is finito. Are you talking about Sancho, fam? Or are you talking about someone else? Big up to TJ. He's been a member of the channel for 14 months, and he put 14 months in the city of sarcasm. Shout out to Flawless Surfer and Jez. Special shout out to Surfers Enzo Amore shirt SAWFT. So yeah, he was a beast on mic. He was a beast on mic, Enzo Amore. Absolute. Yeah. He's one of them. He was one of them. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment, people, before we indeed close out. Final few questions. I know there's more here. Just give him your thoughts again quickly on Timo Werner.
Yeah,
of course, Eli. If we keep Ten Hag, it's a wrap. Show's over, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
can I
that's what made me laugh, like all the turnaround now. Most of the fans, 85% of the fans want to keep him. Who are you polling?
Who exactly are you talking to? Are you talking about Ten Hag? Like, bro, are you talking about people that actually Ten Hag in already even before the final?
The tweet hit, like, I didn't even realize it, but I did quote tweet the tweet, and someone said, I'm paraphrasing, but the Manchester United fan base wrote a letter to a manager who finished
I saw that.
out the Champions League stages in the group. And writing letters for him, man. Yo, like I say, that's why I say keep fans as far away from decision making from the football club as possible, because it's too much emotion. Get that emotion out.
It's the same thing with the staff member at Tottenham. Like, bro, please no. Like, stay away from the football club if you can't do this, because
this guy is literally Ten Hag is a record breaker at Manchester United. It's just all the bad records he's broken. He's broken every single bad record. Wasn't the one remaining one where he hadn't been losing at half time or something and then lost?
And that was a long as contract.
I think he was winning. Yeah, we'd never lost a game winning at half time at Old Trafford.
That's gone now.
That's what. Do you know how to break a record like that?
He's broken every single record in a negative way. Do you know how uniquely talented? No, not talented. Yeah, you know how unique situation. You break every single record in the same season, mind you. Not even like in his first season. In the same season, you break every single record. That is amazing.
Bro, this is bad though. Like, but hey, man, Lisandro Martinez picked them up, man, after the full-time whistle went. Is what it is, man. Like, the emotions are so high that people are forgetting everything. Which just goes back to what we said. People will forget what you did if you win on football match. Hey, don't say it. You Jesus Christ himself to the people. Like, it's crazy. Football is crazy. How it can
and a U-turn would happen. That's why when I was getting the question before the FA Cup final, or if Manchester United win the final, will it change your mind? No. Will I celebrate it? Yes. Will I praise Ten Hag? Also yes. Will I praise the players? Also yes. But that's in isolation within that game. That doesn't exclude or dismiss everything that went on since then. What are we talking about here?
38 game weeks, Champions League, Carabao Cup, bro, crazy. But yeah, and you asked me again for the Werner thing because I was there. People asked me again. Yeah, obviously. Anyone who has to listen earlier parts, quick run through of what I said. The fact that we didn't buy him permanently just means there's parts in the football club that don't want him, parts of the football club who want him. And I said already, quick and simple answer. I'm fine with Werner coming back on another loan. Just don't buy him next summer. But under the only conditions that Brian Gill and Solomon leave the football club at must, and we need to get a bit at minimum another winger and another striker, or 2 wingers. That's probably the conditions where I say, you know what, I'm not mad. It's just another body. We're playing more football matches. Is what it is. But I need to see how the rest of the window ends before I can really have an adjustment of, we got to run back on loan. But did you sign me a good quality left winger? Do you sign me a good quality striker? I need to see how this window ends. But at this moment in time, I'm observing right now. I'm just observing like second season for every manager is one of the hardest seasons because everybody's judging you much more higher now. You're not this media darling or the new face. No, everybody knows you know. Everybody knows your tricks, and everybody knows how to expose you at this moment in time. How is he going to deal with that? And I said with Ange already, we can't go another season where we concede. We scored more goals than last season with Kane scoring 30, but we conceded 60 goals. We can't do that again. So I'm just chilling right now. I'm just waiting right now what's happening. I saw a meltdown go on. Some people could stay composed, and I saw the flows already. I was like, the meme that says you got me in the first half. You got me in the first half because I was reading the tweet. Fabrizio said exclusive. I see Tottenham. I see Timo Werner. I see the word advanced talks to sign Timo Werner. And from that point onwards, I was like, shit, I'm about to collapse in my room right now. Like, it's not even warm. But then I see for another loan. And I collected myself, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it again then for another year. Is he going to miss chances? Yes. Do I expect a very bad miss like the Fulham game? Yes. But please just Tottenham. Just buy 2 wingers or buy a winger and a striker. That's all I've been asking for. I don't care about the runners here. Like, he can sit on the bench, be good friends with Van der Ven, I think he is. Do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, just make sure you do what has to be done, regardless of this guy being here, man, honestly. And I'm seeing with Charleston posting about, I'm not leaving England. I don't care where you're going. Fleetwood Town, Wrexham, Bristol Rovers. Bro, if you don't want to leave England, you can stay in England, bro. Just leave my football club. So yeah, this is currently my feelings about the Werner thing.
Fez. And Andy says, Flawless, you think any of us are not ready to sack Ten Hag and pay the compensation fee? No, I think if they want to sack him, they'll sack him. I think that's people clutching at straws. Yeah, I think 2 things. 1, people clutching at straws because they like Ten Hag, or 2, trying to give Ineos out. Because if, let's say, it's 20 million, the compensation fee, keeping a manager who is not good and detrimental to the job is going to cost you much more than 20 M's. So pay whatever it is. That's the Manchester United have that. Manchester United have that. We could spend 20 million on a player right now. Like, what are we talking about here? So no, I don't think it's anything to do with that. Yeah, like it's nothing to do with that. Get rid of him.
I wonder if that would change though going into his last year of the contract. So like from June 30th.
It should. It should because obviously gets wages, but
you know what I mean?
It should, but I feel like
it could be. It could be a thing. I want them here. I
don't know why they just don't put him on
Just
card
sack
in
him.
the league.
Just
Oh,
sack
okay.
him.
Also,
There's
it's just
no
something,
benefit to having him here.
Well, like
Bro.
we had Conte for like 4. His Conte's contract was running out. He was on bare money, so we had to sack him on bare money.
He was
We
still
couldn't-
paying.
He's still paying Jose.
Man United was still paying David Moyes like 5-6 years after they sacked him.
Yeah, it was because we give him a big ass deal. That's our foolish.
That's
fault.
what I mean. Yeah,
Give him
you
a
gave him a
deal, bro.
6-year contract, didn't you? It was like, see,
Yeah,
and
and
Conte was still getting paid by us, I think, before he
Foolishness.
went to Inter Milan.
and put the law on y'all. Said, give me my money.
Oh yeah,
By the way, Lewis, you are fraud. Look, Lewis, if you listen to this, you are fraud wanting content back, even though he's put your club into court.
No, I sorted him out now.
Yeah, we don't want
so
to know, man.
okay.
Lewis about the nostalgia, man. Lewis would have Hazard back tomorrow.
That's
Hey,
different.
Lewis is that.
Let him find out that Hassan said that he thought that it was harsh to sack Pochettino. Let Lewis find out.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, Hassan said that. He thought it was harsh. It was harsh to sack Pochettino. And when he asked who should be the next Chelsea manager, he said a friend of Como, who is Fabregas as the manager there, or assistant manager. So
Crazy.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like footballers low-key don't know football. Like imagine Fabregas take over.
That's why I've not. Yeah, that's why like when. That's why you very rarely see top class footballers become great managers. Zidane's the only exception to the rule. He's the only one who was at the top of the game playing and went to the
We
top
don't
of the
know how
game as a
good he
manager.
actually really is either, because he
didn't inherit a
doesn't-
hell of a team.
He doesn't have to, but there will always be a part of me that goes, "All right, you did brilliant at Real Madrid.
What else you gonna do?
What else are you going to do?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know you went back there and won a league as well, so that helps you in that ways. But we're talking about Real Madrid, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? It's like the unique club in world football. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those. I'm not even going to do. Can he do it? Can he go down to a lower league and raise someone up from like 4 divisions? No. I just want to see if he can do it in another league or with another team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a
And
big
I'd
question.
love to see you go to Juventus. See if you can do it at Juventus. Do you know what I mean?
Be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the club where he was at as well. No, I fully hear what you're saying. with that.
I like the Thiago Motta appointment. I think that's an interesting appointment for Juventus. I can't like.
You think he's a good manager?
I think that's good. I think already connection with the football club. I think people know him. It's kind of like Pep, but in Italian kind of race. But I don't know if he's going to go start dominating Italian football. But he will have much better players to his disposal. And to be fair, the Bologna team, he improved a lot of these guys out there. Like I saw him linked to Chelsea, but I think this was already way too late because he was linked with Liverpool for so long. So I think there's a good potential right there. I think they're gonna go the same road as Arsenal in a way of have Motta there, see what he can do for like the first year. Because I like free football as much as a winner he is. It was ugly. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, they even sacked him before the season ended, and he won them the trophy. Which is ironic because we're talking about United.
It's like, he needs to be gone, man. There's no reason why he should still be in charge now. I'm not hearing any excuses about compensation, not hearing any excuses about any reasoning, about anything else. There's no value to having him here currently. The next manager should have been sounded out and should have been spoken to, and papers should have been signed up, whoever that new manager is. So we'll see what going on. We will see what's happening.
Do you think they wanted McKenna?
No. I think it's personally, I think it's De Zerbi. I'm not gonna lie.
No. No, it might be De Zerbi now, but did you think they wanted McKenna?
No, I don't think they wanted. I don't think they wanted McKenna. I don't think he fits what they spoke about. I think it was more so McKenna was like, "I'm interested in the United job."
Yeah,
kind of like Tuchel saying, "I'm interested in the United job." Kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's like just saying he's interested in Beyonce. Yeah, we know. No shit. Like, we're not shocked.
By the way,
it's like just throwing his hat in the ring and saying, "Yeah, I'm happy to be Beyonce's boyfriend."
Yeah,
100%. I'm ready to be a side chick. What the fuck?
Yes, he's ready to be he's ready to be a side thing. Like, what are we talking about? Of course, Jez.
You're not even good enough to carry her bags.
I know. Hey, bro, I want to be the buck. Like, I was shit. What the fuck?
Carried, you know.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's crazy, man. By the way, also to all football clubs, if you need a director of football here,
football manager.
Hey, Jez, no, all jokes aside, somebody did get hired off it. So you should, use that football knowledge. Get a job, man. We need Jez as a director of football somewhere, man, or a scout. That'd be A1.
Give me 1 year. Give me 1 year and we're getting promoted. That's all I have to say.
I agree, man. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. I got you. Don't worry. I got you, man. No stress, Jacob, because we are heading over to the playback people.
Get the rooms out.
You lot want to watch the game? I'm giving out VIP passes for the game, so come join people. You can actually watch the game with us. Come lock into Game 4, Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves. I see that fraud Ahmed over there already. Jacob's over there. YG's over there. I will be over there shortly. So is Manch as
what
well.
Collection, that looked like the Chelsea manager list there.
I do wonder. Are we going to be here with Chelsea?
That's a Jacob, YG, and Ahmed. That's what it did look like. Oh my fucking god! Shout out, man. You didn't deserve to get included in that. But the rest of these, man, yes, they definitely did. I said Jacob, YG, and Ahmed. Yo, I can't think of what three worst candidates, you know. Jesus Christ, yo. Lord have mercy.
I know Ahmed, the press conference will be at least good, bro. Like,
yeah. At least because it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, we don't know what you say just because you do the wink and the gun. I have no idea what you mean.
Bro. Why?
Little cheeky ones, yeah. Cheeky 4-4-2, man. No.
Cheeky. He's telling Palmer cheeky Tom Benz for the top Benz next game. What does that mean, cheeky?
Jacob would do his own Russell Westbrook thing. What? Anything he doesn't want to answer on the stage goes, what?
You guy, man.
Oh. And then YG will talk about like what he did on a Wednesday 2 years ago when he was imaginary riding a purple pony somewhere or something.
It's crazy. Like when he didn't understand the cat food reference, that was hilarious. Like,
bro, like YG didn't understand. YG got the attentive mindset with the light bulb. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
why would you eat cat food? You know what I'm saying? It's you just don't get it. I don't know. Because it was on. You don't get it because of the way I said it. But we're on pro clubs and we were talking about something, probably Gyal, because this is what we're like. So we were talking about Gyal, and then obviously we mentioned somehow. I don't know. We got to mentioning about cat food. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably Surfer calling someone a pussy. That's probably where it stemmed from. But then we got talking about Gyal. And it was like, right, some cat food's not too shabby. And then YG was like, why would you eat cat food? I'm like, okay. Like, you just don't get it. And then I said 10 minutes later, he was like, cat food. He's like, I get it now. What you're talking about? It's like, bless him. Don't have a clue. Don't have a clue.
Really?
It hit him later, like what we were talking about. Oh, was it you, Eli? I knew it was one of you crooks. It was either Eli, Surfer, Sheik, TJ, one of you
dial-up network in his brain.
Yeah. It was, man. Like, hey, that happened to open time in that wheel for YG. Shout out YG though. That's my done. But yeah, it was Eli. Yeah, it was Eli with his crooked self. Yeah, make sure you go follow the crook of Eli on Twitch as well. People follow Jez on Twitch as well. Hokage Jez, as you can see. Drop the link in the chat. One of the mods, please, people. And to answer your question, no. Why would I take him to Albert? Who says, would you take Poch at United? No. Why would I take him at United when I just watch what happened at Chelsea? Don't bring me nothing that's ex-Chelsea unless it's Don Carlo. Oh, nothing ex-Chelsea.
These guys keep failing and then bouncing back. You know what I mean? It's like football management is the only place where you fail and you'll still go and get a new job. I know,
you have to fail consistently to the point where you can't get a job. People will still go, oh, he was good 5 years ago. Maybe you could do something here. Like that don't happen nowhere else. You've had fame. You've had 5 years of being underwhelming. That shit don't happen nowhere.
Hey, one thing the AI at Man United, in my FM, is safe to say that they actually sucked Ten Hag for Emery.
Hey, props to them. I don't know about the Emery thing, but all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Bro, at least understood, man. So it's kind of like it's crazy, bro. Like honestly, like you know what? I don't know. Like, do you think Ten Hag's gonna stay though? Or what do you think the percentage is like?
I think it's just like 90-10. I'm leaning much more towards, and that 10 is more so not because of him. I just don't trust Ineos. But all of the everything leads towards him leaving because they've not. Rance made a great point when I was talking to him about it, and he said they've not publicly come out and backed him. Secondly, as well, when companies take over, they want their own manager in charge as well. Also,
yes,
I think if I was a Man United fan, even if nothing's announced. If I'm like watching the first game of the Euros and nothing's been done, I'd start a bit like,
I ain't even giving them till then. You know what I'm saying? They're already on strike one now.
What I'm saying is like if you're still there and like there's no decision on the manager, It's like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
The Euros is 2 weeks. That's strike. That might be strike 3 by then. You know what I'm saying? They may be on strike.
People forget preseason already starts mid Euros.
Facts.
So you need a manager there by the time. If not, then Tenag's probably going to be there too.
Time is far from being on our side. But hey, love to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you go follow Jez on Twitch. You see it right there, twitch.tv/HoKatsJez. This show is normally supposed to be Thursday nights, people like midnight, but because of the Euros and the whole summer windows, they will be sporadic. So if some big news breaks, Tottenham Hotspur or Chelsea, you will get this show. I'll probably alongside the Q&A as well. So just keep a lookout on the channel. And how you do that is by subscribing. So subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow it at Sarcasm City TV across all socials, because anytime I go live on the channel, I always post it out, people. But get over to the playback. I'll drop the link in the chat. Get over to the playback, because we are going over there for the Dallas Mavericks versus Minnesota Timberwolves game. 4 people, game 4. Obviously, the Mavs up 3-0, so must win for the Timberwolves. Otherwise, they are indeed getting swept. So get over to the playback. Not only is it NBA watch-alongs over there, you also get Premier League watch-alongs over there when they're back. The Euros will be over there mainly. So the England games will be on the YouTube and on the playback. All the other games are on the Euros. All the other games are on the playback. Olympics will be over there as well. You're going to get gaming content, so EAFC, NBA 2K. Once I buy WWE 2K, you'll get that. I'm going to start back my career mode on FIFA, pro clubs like I mentioned as well, Fight Night Champion plus more. So make sure you get over there for that as well, people. TJ's live, so we're going to redirect to him, but playback. Don't forget, we are available on all audio platforms as well, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, etc., etc. Anything either of you two man want to add before we close out?
No, nothing. I'm all good.
Obviously, as Flores already mentioned, link also in the chat, and follow me on HoKatsJez on
follow
Twitch.
Jez.
I'm doing Football Manager streams. We are trying to aim currently the next stream, which is either today if you're in this time zone, on pretty much Wednesday, whatever which time zone on a Wednesday, gonna be live. We're trying to grind all the way to the January window, and then we're gonna start buying some players, because some players have been selling here as of late. And we're doing currently a Granada CF team in Spain. We're doing a safe currently right now. We're in the second season, trying to qualify for the next one of the Champions League with the new format, by the way, in the game, in case anybody wants to see it. And obviously, we're trying to currently compete for making Champions League right now in La Liga. So tune in, good vibes, good music, chat is active, and trying to get affiliated to spot people. So the more people tune in, the faster they're going to get there.
You're going to get there, 100%. So big up. Like I said, we're going over to the playback.tv/Sarcasm City TV. Download the app as well. We're going to redirect to TJ. So you already know, 16/10 raid, people. 16/10 raid. Like I said, maybe your team has been swept out of the playoffs. Maybe your team's about to be swept. Maybe your team's hired a manager that you don't want your team to manage. Maybe a manager is still in charge of your football club that you don't want in charge. Maybe you don't like the managers linked with your football club. Maybe you've just signed a player on loan who you don't like. Maybe players are staying at your football club who you don't like. But hey, at least you didn't say this dumb shit.
By the way, can I just say, the 2 girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
Right, big up the panel. And this has been, people, the Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show, Man United, Ballers at the Bridge, talking that Tottenham Talk podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.